I really need to come up with something other than listeners. We need like a term. Like Critical Role has critters. So if you guys have an idea of what you guys should be called, you can email Inebri-Art at yahoo.com, and maybe we'll start using it. But welcome back. And we're just recording this quick little blurb at the beginning of our podcast like we do sometimes. And it is to say a great thank you to Copic Markers. They've been our sponsor this month. They gave us a box full of Copic multi-liners to pass out at our life drawing group back at the beginning of this month, and all the people there were really appreciative. They really liked them. If you haven't used Copic Markers, you should definitely go out and pick some up. They are a little on the pricey side, I'm not going to lie, but they're refillable. So once you run that marker dry, you can go out and you can get a refill, usually about $5, and it refills the marker 4 or 5, maybe even 6 times. It's got quite a bit of extra ink in there. Every color that you can possibly think of, Copic is a really great product. I use it myself all the time. And they have multi-liners and a whole assortment of other things. So check them out. Again, thank you, Copic. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to drawing more with Copic products in the future. So thank you. All right, so welcome back, podcast listeners. Back to the Inebri-Art podcast. We are here at the New World Tavern where we record once in a while, and we just finished up our life drawing. The hell month was this? It's May. So we actually have a sponsor this month. Our sponsor this month is Copic Markers. They provided a bunch of markers for us to pass out to our attendees at our life drawing group that meets here the first Monday of every month. It's an $8 covered charge, and people bring whatever they want to work in, charcoal, crayon, iPad, whatever meets your fancy. And so they gave us some really nice multi-liner markers. Everyone thought they were great. I personally use Copic all the time, and so if you get a chance, pick up some Copic markers. And thank you, Copic, for sponsoring us this month. And since we just had our life drawing, we figured we would get the model that we just used to sit down and talk to us. It is, is that offensive when I say that I used the model? Is that bad?
I mean,
all right.
Well,
I didn't mean an offensive way.
But, so, I mean, it could be weird because you're talking about it and no one can actually see it.
All right. But I've said that before. I'd be like, oh, we've used her before, and I don't. So
no, it's fine.
All right. So the other voice you hear is Shauna LeMay. She's one of our longest running models. I think she was like our 4th or 5th model, and a Inebri-Art record holder. And I think she was mad at me for bringing this up, but it was at the smallest attended life drawing we ever had. There was 3 of us, including the 2 of us, running it.
It was still fun. It
was a lot of fun, and she was a trooper. It was the first one she ever did. How long does it take you to get here? It takes a while.
It takes like
45 minutes,
an hour and a half.
Oh, that even longer.
Yeah, hour and a half.
So we are so much fun. She drove an hour and a half to hang out with 3 people and still comes back. That should tell you something about the group. So did you have a good time tonight?
I did.
Was there more than 3 people here?
Yeah, there was a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a good crowd.
It was good.
Not our biggest, but pretty damn close. Partly because Shauna's here, partly because we give away free Copic markers.
I think it's a free stuff. Let's be honest.
No. I talked you up plenty. I'm like, Shauna's I don't know if I said you're the greatest, but I said she's one of our favorites.
I was told tonight that I was dynamic. Like, you guys have a lot of great
we do.
Models.
And for like the next 6 months, I was looking at our calendar. For the next 6 months, we have like awesome.
Oh, that's so good.
So we're very excited.
Very
before
good.
you leave, we should like book another date for you to get back here.
Okay.
So for our listeners, we'll post that on Facebook.
Okay, awesome.
And Shauna, what do you do? Tell us a little bit.
What do? I do everything.
So you do like the hair.
Okay, so
If I want to get my hair did.
If you want your hair did, I do hair, both in salon and out of salon.
You do a lot of like wedding type stuff. I feel like I see that on
season
Facebook.
Has started for that, so I do hair and makeup for weddings. It's kind of nice. This summer is kind of slow for weddings, but the fall and the spring pack solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were just talking about, this is a normal transition. We were just talking about cadavers.
Yeah.
And so you said you were interested in working with them? Like what?
Well, I've always, I figured out that I would love to do this.
Did you want to do like hair and makeup on them?
No.
Oh.
I wanted to do more like forensic pathology.
Okay. So like CSI shit.
Yeah. Autopsies and stuff. Work the cutting bench.
What what piqued your interest there?
I don't know.
No.
I've just kind of always been interested
things.
in it. But it sucks because I didn't realize that was actually a job until way after I graduated high school, because I took culinary arts in high school, so they kind of
it's totally the same thing.
You.
Totally the same thing.
Totally.
But that's a really good thing. A good point is how kind of narrow your worldview is when you're in high school. Because my son is a freshman, my daughter is becoming a teenager, and I'm very much trying to encourage them to think kind of beyond that, fireman, policeman, accountant,
exactly.
Well, do what you want to do. Find something that you love to do and make it your career.
Yeah.
And so was it culinary arts? When I was little, I really wanted to be a chef. But at what point did you decide culinary arts wasn't for you?
Well, I was supposed to go to Johnson & Wales when I was 18, but I had a panic attack on my way to the school the first day, and I just never went.
Those can be rough. I overcommitted myself recently and had one, and they're a lot of fun to have.
Oh yeah, totally fun.
Yes, I had.
Was yours the one that made you feel like you were having a heart attack?
No, mine was. I felt the absolute need that I had to do something right away.
Oh.
But not anything specific, just I can't, I have too much to do, I can't sit here. Don't touch me, don't talk to me, I have to do something. And my girlfriend's like, what is wrong? I'm like, I need to do something. And she's like, what? But
leave me alone.
She's like, it's 5 a.m. I'm like, no, I need to do something right now, I have to go do something.
You went that early?
Oh, it was bad.
Rough.
Yeah. It all worked out, everything's cool now.
Yeah.
So you didn't end up at Johnson & Wales?
No.
Do you still enjoy cooking?
Yeah, I like to bake more than cooking.
Okay.
I use baking as a form of therapy.
Okay.
I do fancy herb shortbreads, and I do...
I was hoping for cupcakes and cookies.
Wedding cakes. And cupcakes. All
right.
Yeah.
Cupcakes are
But
good.
I make all these weird flavors. I make a basil balsamic shortbread with a chocolate drizzle. I put things that don't sound like they're going to go together, and they are amazing.
Sure?
That's my favorite cookie.
Really?
Next time I come, I'm going to bake something.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, I like vanilla.
Yeah.
With chocolate frosting.
What about white chocolate and raspberry? That's
that makes sense to me.
I make cupcakes, and people that don't like white chocolate like those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, white chocolate's not my favorite, but mint chocolate chip is currently.
Mint chocolate chip.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll have to see what I can do.
All right. That's currently my favorite. When we get ice cream, it's mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, with marshmallow.
Oh, I've never done that before.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I went to Friendly's the other day with my son, and I'm like, I want mint chocolate chip with marshmallow. And they're like, what size? And I'm like, large.
The biggest one you have.
Large. And they brought it. I'm like, oh, that's really big. So when did you decide to get into hair and makeup? Hairstyling. What would you call yourself? Cosmetology. Okay.
Yes.
I
decided to do that when I was 20 or 21 because I knew I had to do something with my life, and the school was only 7 minutes away from me.
But you enjoy it, I assume.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
that's convincing.
I prefer doing what we call a set artist. So you're on set for a photo shoot or a movie shoot, and you do the hair and makeup for that instead.
Oh, okay.
That's why I like doing weddings so much.
And you've worked with several models, I think, that we have worked with, right?
Oh yeah,
like
definitely Sarah Michelle.
Sarah Michelle,
yeah.
She was our first.
Oh.
And
there's another one, Jess. She's pin-up-y. She has blonde hair. I don't know her last name.
Jess.
It's been years.
We have Robin Driscoll, Jennifer Evie. Next month we have Research. Redhead. Isabel V.
No.
Alessandra.
No.
She's definitely not small. I don't mean that bad way. She's
not small.
Are you laughing or coughing? Yes, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. We've used a few people who've just been here like once or twice. And just wasn't quite the right fit for us.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, this is different than like modeling in front of a camera.
Right.
Like totally different.
And we've had quite a few people that were photographers, models that have come down and just feel-wise it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
But how did you then go from cosmetology to modeling?
So
you kind of jump from thing to thing.
I do. Let's see. So I started doing this calendar project called Looks That Kill Calendar.
And I think that's around the time that we found you, or found each other. I don't remember how we got connected.
I don't know.
Oh, that's right. It was at Rock and Shock, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I thought you found me through some.
It might have been. You might have like posted that you're Rocket Shock. That was at like the time when I was trying to figure out the difference between recruiting a model and creeping.
There's a fine line.
There's a fine line and kind of a learning curve. Because we were out drinking one night, and I was probably 3 sheets to the wind, and there was some like Bud Light girls. And so I'm like passing out my card to her. I'm like, oh, we have this thing and drawing, and she's like, oh, and walked away. And I'm like, oh, that was totally fucking creepy, wasn't it? And she's like, yeah, that was creepy.
That's
I'm like, but I didn't mean it to be. Yeah.
Like, I'd be, like, at a concert or something, and I see, like, a cute girl trying to recruit people for the calendar, and they would just get freaked out and just walk away.
Yeah.
Or they just, like, give the card to the boyfriend, and the boyfriend would just, like, throw it in the trash.
And,
I'm like,
and you
I'm
want
a girl, I'm not going to
like,
try and get with your girl.
I'm being serious. I'm not, like, trying to hook up with you. I mean, you're pretty, but no. It's a weird... a weird thing. So I skipped over my whole question. How did you get involved in modeling?
Okay, so I was
we do
doing
these recordings after I've been drinking, then it's like whatever.
Yeah, and it happens.
All right, so you're doing
that
photography.
makes it better.
Yeah.
So I had gone into photography in 2009.
That
maybe?
was convincing.
I don't know. Between 2007 and 2009.
Okay.
I got into photography accidentally. Doing the calendar project.
Like you fell in front of someone's camera?
No, I couldn't. I was trying to explain my vision because I was a creative director.
Okay.
So I was trying to explain my vision to the photographer.
Oh, so you were working kind of on the other side of the calendar.
Yeah.
Camera.
Yeah, but then I jumped in, and I was the month of February that year, and
it just kind of went from there.
Kind of went from there. Yeah, I don't actively seek it out. I just like if someone asks me to do something, and I'm like, yeah, sure, just for fun.
Okay.
Unless they're a creep, and then
unless they're a creep.
Yeah.
So, if someone wanted to get into modeling, how should they tune their creep meter? Like, do you have any advice for them to avoid creeps?
Always look for references. Definitely.
Yep.
And even if you go onto like model and photography forums and groups on Facebook. Other photographers and models are always putting out like warnings, like don't work with this photographer and stuff like that. So just pretty much do your research.
Yeah.
So don't immediately say yes. Just, be like, okay, let me think about it and do your research and then get back to that person. And ask them for, you can even ask their photographer for references, like people they've worked with in the past.
And I feel like if you ask them and they get upset or offended, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I've noticed from our end, and it doesn't, right now we've kind of have a list of people that we work with, but even new people, if someone doesn't, if they're new and they walk through that door without kind of a chaperone, to me that's a red flag, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to work with this person again. Yeah. Just simply because if you bring a chaperone, it protects me as much as it protects you.
Well, I didn't bring a chaperone the first time.
You didn't? I'm pretty...
No, he started coming the second time.
I thought you were here on the first time.
No. He came the second time. Yeah.
There wasn't anyone here to worry about, so...
Well, that's true. I think that whole night I was just so embarrassed and felt so bad. Huh?
You didn't come here the first time, no.
What is wrong with you?
No, we would have had 4 people.
Oh, that's right. We definitely would have counted him.
Yeah.
If he was a human breathing in the room, we would have counted him.
It would have been a little bit warmer.
Yeah. That whole night I tried to block out his bad.
It's okay.
But, that happens in... I'm sure you've experienced this in some aspect where you have those horrible events where either the hair's not right or or the bride comes in and they're like, I want my hair like Jennifer Aniston, and they have the curliest hair going, and you're like,
that doesn't happen. I've had I've never had a bridezilla. People ask me this all the time. Never. It's always like the mother of the bride or a bridesmaid. Usually a bridesmaid is like a maidzilla, I call them. Yeah.
So you were recently married.
Yeah, a year ago.
Right. That's still fairly recently.
I know.
In the grand scheme of things. Did you feel like working in your profession gave you more perspective, or were you more kind of like judgmental?
When I got my stuff done?
Yeah.
I did mine myself.
Okay, never mind. That's a totally dull question.
I was going to have one of the girls at the salon do it, and I had the appointment booked for months. And then the last minute, I was like, Sarah, I can't do this to you. Like, I've been practicing at home. I'm scared I'm going to be a bridezilla, and I love you too much to put you through that.
That's nice. So, it's like, I'm a horrible person. I'm not going to put you through it. And one of the other things I know about you is you are a gardener.
Yeah.
So
good research.
It's not research. We've talked before. Yeah, I don't do research. So I think my plants are dead.
Oh, no. Why?
Yeah, so I started growing stuff on my counter this year.
Yeah.
So, you start the seeds.
Yeah.
And they were, growing out of control, all over the place. We had peas and beans and zucchini, cucumbers, broccoli, and oregano, I think.
Okay.
I just wanted a few to start. It's supposed to be a nice weekend. I put them outside. It drops to 40. And now it's they kind of look like they might survive.
You should probably bring them... Did you plant them in the ground?
No, they're in larger pots.
Are you able to bring the pots inside?
Maybe.
Because what you have to do is you have to acclimate them to the outdoors before you just shove them out there.
Oh, you just can't be here,
No.
You're free.
No. So what I have is a little... It's
would the garage, the non-heated garage be or the shed be kind of a good...
No, because you want it to...
or just
feel the weather, and you want the sun to be able to hit it, so it can kind of get used to it.
Put it in a wagon and take it for a walk? Or?
Yeah, so put it in a wagon, take it for a little walk, leave it out there just for a couple hours.
An afternoon? Okay.
Yeah, and then bring them back inside.
Okay.
You want to do that for probably 5 to 7 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
And then you can just plant them.
I don't know if they made it.
You don't know if what?
I don't know if they made it.
Okay.
Because it was a week ago.
Well, do they still look meh?
Some look like there's still some green. Some look not so much. Some are totally dead.
Your broccoli and your peas, they're more cold crops, so they should be fine.
The peas look it's weird. It's the top. So the peas are kind of the long vines. So I gave them something to grow up. Is that
how? Your plants sound substantial. When did you start those?
This long, a foot long.
That's 2 feet, by the way.
It's 2 feet long. I'm not a mathematician. I don't. So I started them. Some people say too early, but it was I was doing it with my kids, so it was an activity. I recently started more beans and peas. on my countertop, and those are growing nicely.
Okay.
So do I take them in now because it's kind of nice out? They've been out. I feel like they should be acclimated now.
Yeah.
I feel like if they're going to survive, they're going to be like the road warrior of plants.
Yeah. So, I mean, at this point, you can just leave them out there and then see what happens.
Right. Some of them ain't coming back. Some I look down and go, that shit's
well, if
dead.
You know they're not gonna come back, then I wouldn't worry about those, but
yeah, like the peas are weird. It's almost like the bottom third looks like it's dead, and the top 2/3 is still like green and.
Oh, I don't know. It might die. Is it like brown or is it green on the bottom?
It's more like an off-white, like a greenish white.
That doesn't sound good.
So the other day I'm looking out on the deck at my dying plants, and I'm like, yep, I'm a farmer. I think I need cattle. And my girlfriend's like, your dogs are your cattle. I'm like, yeah.
You could get chickens.
Yeah, I don't think
I
she would
want
approve.
chickens.
I would
Just
totally
get
be
a
down
couple
for.
chickens,
I would be
just
down
like
for
two.
chickens. I would totally be down for chickens.
And you like plant a big garden and they'll go in and eat all the bad bugs.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But this was my first attempt.
Okay.
And
there's certain stuff you can plant straight
know.
outside. Like
Yeah.
I did the broccoli.
So the tomato
beans.
plants seem to be holding out. But
you did tomatoes
But I
too?
bought them.
I can't start stuff from seed. It always dies. Even if I acclimate it, dead.
I even started peppers from the seeds in the peppers that we ate. Like I didn't I just kind of took the, and they started off pretty great. I don't know. We'll see.
And now they're kind of meh.
Yeah, I'll send you pictures.
Okay.
It's not pretty. So you do hair. You bake.
Yeah.
You want to play with dead things.
Yeah.
You're a gardener. Like, what is there like one thing that you have yet to do that you want to do?
Huh. I don't know.
Is there like a skydiving, or it's not really creative, but
No.
is there like a no?
I don't think so.
Well, that's good. That means you're doing what you want. So it's a possibility we met at Rocket Shock. Are you planning on going back to Rocket Shock this year?
Probably not going to get a table,
No.
like a booth, but go to visit.
We were talking about maybe trying to get a booth for the podcast.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
We did that at a local event here, and it was a lot of fun, and we're trying to expand out to some other bigger events.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot of fun because you get to talk to people.
Yeah.
So this calendar was called what?
Looks at Kill calendar.
Looks at Kill. Are you still involved in that?
No, we stopped that.
Is it the calendar itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like my baby, and then we did 4 of them. 4 of them, yeah. And then
Research says yes.
Yeah.
We have a very extensive research
But
department.
then because when you do it with friends and significant others, you kind of start hating each other. So we squashed it.
Working with friends is very difficult, and you have
Yeah.
to find just the right friends. Because
It's tough.
yes, it's very tough. Someone always feels slighted.
Yes.
Yes. And you have to explain to them that they're not.
Yeah.
So,
Which doesn't always work.
No, it doesn't. Usually not at all.
More often than not.
Yeah. So, where do you want to go? Like, do you want to do more modeling? Do you want to?
I'd like to do more modeling.
Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah. More modeling and more photography. I like doing photography.
So, like, actually, like being the person behind the camera.
Yeah.
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 So, did you do the photography for the calendar?
Calendars? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
do
that about you.
photography. Yeah, I do photography too.
Jesus Christ. All right, so hair, check. Baking, check. Photography, check. Modeling, check. What did I forget? Oh, she draws. She showed me a picture of a heart she
I
drew.
draw.
Check.
I paint. I made my wedding jewelry. I made my wedding veil.
Did you perform the wedding yourself?
No.
Jesus, come on, man.
I passed it off to somebody else.
Make an effort. Wedding cakes.
So yeah, do wedding cakes.
Yeah. Gardening.
When I was 18, I even worked at like a car shop, and I would detailed cars, and I did oil changes and tire rotations. Like, I think I've done everything.
You're like a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
So, have you been a superhero yet?
No.
No interest in superheroes.
No, it's too much work.
It is. There's a lot of running.
There's a lot of pressure.
There's a lot of running, and you're out late. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm too old to be out late.
So, has married life changed you?
Yeah, I'm in bed by like 11 now.
By 11?
Yeah,
So
like
that's-
asleep, passed out by 11. Before, it would take me 4 hours to fall
Fish,
asleep.
you remember when I said I was going to like book older people? We have to like go to like a retirement home. I want someone who's in bed at like 5.
Do you want me to get toast back here?
Shut up. Yes. Well, they did have a bedtime. I would have felt better about that. Yeah, like me now. It's like 9:30.
Yeah?
Yeah.
See,
I'm old.
I usually have
This
insomnia.
podcast has made me feel like really,
Yeah.
really old.
Yeah, like people will still want to go out to the bars, and I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot. I'm like, no.
Because
I'm
all our
done.
guests are like, back when I was 10, and this year, and I'm like, I was out of high school 2 years when you were 10. And then the podcast that went up 2 weeks ago, we had a band, amazing band. Average age, 16.
Ugh.
Yeah, right? And I'm like, I wasn't doing shit when I was 16.
No.
So it's an interesting time for someone that age, though, because my son is very much that age.
Yeah.
And he said to me the other day that he wants to be a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
Or he was thinking about being a stand-up comedian. Which
Has
is
he
like,
ever tried anything like that before?
No. But
Okay.
to me that's like really smart even to be like, I'm thinking it might be fun. Because when I was a kid I'd be like, I want to be a comic book artist.
Yeah.
Without really thinking about it. And my response to him is like, well, if that's what you want to do, then do it. Find an open mic, do something.
Yeah.
So if you found a kid who was like, I want to be someone that makes cakes, gardens, takes photography, plays with dead things, and the 900 other things that you do, what kind of advice would you give them to steer them in the right direction?
Start small. Like start off.
I feel
with,
like that's like
start off with
almost
like
patronizing from you.
cucumbers. Don't jump into
First
like.
of all, cucumbers were in the list. They didn't last either. The broccoli, maybe.
I don't
I
know.
think cucumbers.
I would say just like. If you're interested in it, start small
Yeah.
so that you can test the waters before you jump in head first.
So you're not a jumping head first. You're kind of like a put
Well,
a
it
toe
depends
in.
on what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, gardening, I grew up around gardening, so I just jumped head first into that.
So you had some background in that. So if it was something that you hadn't tried before, so say you wanted to be a stand-up comedian because that's something you haven't tried, right?
I have not tried
All right.
that.
So say you wanted to be a stand-up comedian, would you like try and entertain your friends, or would you go to like an open mic, or?
I think I would go to an open mic before entertaining my friends because your friends can be very critical.
Yeah.
And then because they're so close to you, you tend to. I find that I take it more to heart.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go to like a open mic night, all you have to say in your head is, "I'm never going to see these people again." So I
Right.
just do my gig,
Yeah.
and then see what happens.
And then to me, if you enjoyed the process, because it may not go good, then you have to try and kind of refine it, but not give up.
Yeah.
You know, it's Louis C.K. didn't walk out and was amazing the
Yeah.
first time around.
I actually have an example.
Okay.
I used to burlesque perform.
Oh, there's another thing. All
Yeah.
right. Are you keeping track? Are you making notes over there of what she has done? He's not even listening.
So
He does very little. He holds that chair down. That's what he does. So you burlesque?
I used to, yeah.
Okay.
So when I was doing that, I was asked to be part of a troupe, and I was like, okay. I had never done anything like that before. So I pretty much... I mean, yeah, you practice beforehand, and you come up with a routine, but you kind of just jump in head first with that.
Yeah.
Because you're just... It's like you can practice and be with the rest of your troupe, but then performance night, like, you're just thrust right into it. Like, you're thrown into it in front of all those people watching you get down to your skivvies.
Skivvies, which is really, it's almost stripping. It's essentially,
It's the art of the tease.
Yeah. So how many people were there in, like, attending that were watching this burlesque?
The first time? I don't think there was that many the first time. It was like for a party or something. But the first time at, like, a venue?
Yeah.
There was probably, I don't know, 75?
That's a good size room.
Yeah, so it's, what you have to tell yourself is you're never going to see these people again.
Yeah.
And then you don't look at them. You just look, you kind of almost have like a blank stare. You just kind of...
You kind of look beyond them?
Yeah.
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 Which I feel like I've noticed a lot of models do when they pose for us, is it's like they're looking out, but they're not looking at anyone. They're just kind of... Do you, like, pick a point in the back wall to kind of
Usually
stare
I
at?
do. Yeah. So
then what, like, runs through your mind? Do you, like... All right, so at the grocery store, I need Oreos and broccoli, and or do you, like, sing a song, or, like, what? How do you?
I don't know, actually. I've never thought about that. I want to say half the time, because, you know, some of my poses are hard to hold. They're a little ridiculous.
Yeah, there was one that, like, so for our listeners, it was a 5-minute pose.
Yeah.
And
I was like leaning back in the chair, and I was
it was
like,
a bar stool, and she's I don't know how you did it, like
holding myself with one arm,
and like your leg wrapped around the. It looked the most uncomfortable position ever.
Yeah, and a lot of times I try to just go into like kind of like a meditative state, just like think about breathing. That one, it was breathing, but I had like anxiety at the same time because I was like, I'm gonna lose this pose. I'm gonna lose this pose. I'm gonna lose this pose. That's all I could.
Well, like when you posed, I'm like, she knows it's 5 minutes. I told her already.
I made it.
Yeah, you did.
I had to stretch a little.
You did
at
great.
One point,
yeah. But I mean, our audience here love the poses, absolutely, and that's one of those things that they really, really enjoy. Because we have some good people who can hold still, but have some fairly generic poses. Mm-hmm. And, you know, everyone appreciates that. And anyone who's going to stand up in front of a crowd, to me, has balls of steel. Because, I mean, it wasn't a small crowd.
No.
And so you're putting yourself out there. You're not wearing much. This isn't a new thing, but it's not a whole lot. So you're really, really out there. And everyone appreciates it. But to do it at all is impressive. But to see some people like yourself, I mean, you do these really dynamic poses. I believe dynamic was the word of the night.
Dynamic was the word.
Poses that just really excites the room. And you can tell the difference. There's sometimes when the room's like really, really chatty.
Yeah.
And, well, sometimes it's because they're drunk.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's because they're like, oh, this pose isn't exciting.
Yeah.
And they kind of lose focus or whatever. But tonight it wasn't super quiet because they drink.
Yeah.
And they were very tuned in and they're very excited about. And so, where do you come up with the poses? I mean, that's.
It's funny because, you know, I have such a long ride here that I come up with all these poses in my head on the drive, and then when I'm up there, I completely blank. So I just kind of
just go with
come
what
up with
feels
anything.
right.
Like sometimes I'll come to these and I'll do like more pinup poses. Mm-hmm. Today, I don't know what I was thinking today. I guess just in the back of my mind, I'm constantly thinking about what you said, generic poses. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be generic. I want to give them something that will help them hone their art.
Right.
And everything. So maybe because I do art as well, I'm more in tune with that.
And we've had some people who start off and it's like, they always want advice, like, what pose should I do? And you're like, I don't know, I'm not a model.
Yeah.
So I just, the one thing I try to tell them is think about where every joint is, where you're putting every, you know, where you're putting each arm. So it's not just your arms by your side. Like, really think, okay, this arm I'm going to put up bent with my hand pointing down, and this arm, you know, I'm a little teacup or something. But just, you know, really think about where you're putting your body.
Yeah, and if you can hold it for the amount of time.
Yeah, that's
why I would
like
say
an
idiot because I'm always like, this is a 2-minute, right? Just so I can like make sure on
And that's
what
fine.
I'm posing.
And then I'm like, no, I said 5 minutes. Why are you doing that? Because you're gonna fall over. Which we did have happen one time.
Oh, really?
We had a model fall off a chair.
Oh.
Whatever. It happens.
Yeah.
I suppose. So you've been on a lot of photo shoots. On both sides of the camera.
Yep.
Any good stories from experiences? Bad news? Why do models or photographers always want abandoned buildings? That seems to be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I used to like that, and then
Yeah.
I was like, everyone does that.
It seems like it's very common.
Yeah.
Where would you be your ideal place to have a photo shoot?
Bonaventure Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, that's really specific. Why there?
Because
I'm gonna have to Google that.
I went there, and I love cemeteries.
Okay.
Like the really old cemeteries, like hundreds of years old types of cemeteries.
You realize where you are, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You know where Cemetery Hill is, right?
Yeah, but I never have time
All right,
to go
so
there.
you guys need to come here when it's not raining. And
I know,
shitty out.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's always the damn weather.
Yeah.
So we had gone to Savannah, Georgia in March because I like the history and it's just so beautiful. And
It's almost as old as here.
yeah, and that cemetery is huge and it's pretty much like a park. It's
Oh, wow.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Ours is less park, a little more homeless.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some homeless
Oh, that's sad.
issues around town. It's not, and
Yeah.
it is.
I feel like that's everywhere though.
Is it? I don't know. Like Plymouth is one of and I'm not bad mouthing this town. I absolutely love living here, but there's a definite homeless community here.
Yeah.
That I've never lived in a town that actually had like a homeless community like this. And it could just be like the towns I've lived in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean they live under the bridges and never bothered me. But I don't know where I was going with this. So,
Yeah,
but
what's
they're
funny
in
is,
the
like,
they
You
live,
say it's more like a community, and everywhere else that I've seen like a lot of homeless people, you say the bridge thing, and I've never actually seen that in person. So I find it interesting that around here, you saying that, and you feel like it's more of a community, like rather than just a handful.
There's they hang out sometimes in the cemetery.
Yeah.
But there is a park not far from here that takes you from the waterfront kind of up towards what it's called the Jenny Grist Mill, and it takes you through a park along a stream, and there's 3 roads that go over it. So there's like these kind of arched bridges.
Yeah.
And during the summer you can go through, if you're going through late at night, there's usually at least you see one, but I've gone through like 3, 4, or 5, homeless people. And
is there shelters around here?
there are a couple,
Yeah.
but when it's nice out, they don't necessarily
that's
go
true.
to the shelters.
I'd want to be outside too if it was nice.
If my choice was between a homeless shelter and outside, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but it's part of life.
Yeah.
So, so you live in Lowell.
Yes.
How is the artistic community there?
There's actually a pretty good artistic community. There's like the mills have a lot of art studios and shops there. I don't usually venture into Lowell. Makes me a little nervous.
Oh, you kind of live on the outskirts?
Yeah, I actually live like on the border of Chelmsford. So I'm like right off the highway.
Huh.
So I'm not
So
deep
you
in
never
the
do you
heart of
ever
it.
get to the mills over there?
Not often, no.
No, because
No.
a friend of ours actually has a shop there.
Oh, really?
I Formation.
No, I
you ever
don't
heard
know
of them? Yeah.
No.
We know a few people from Lowell and the Lowell area that have studios and whatnot
Yeah.
there.
Is it like the Western Ave Studios?
Your name came up recently.
My name?
Your name. Because we were interviewing a photographer from Lowell, Mark Boncourt. See, and how does that happen? he takes like super creepy photos. Very kind of gothic, plague mask.
Okay.
Very much up your alley.
Yeah.
And I swear I was on his Facebook page and it's like, oh, you have a mutual friend, Shauna LeMay. I'm like, oh, you're friends with Shauna LeMay? He's like, no, I don't know who that is. And I'm like, that's so. I thought that was, and like you guys are so close. Like I don't know how you have somehow missed
weird.
each other because I feel like.
Well, I have like something like 600 friends on Facebook, and I have no idea who any of these
humble
people are.
brag much?
I don't know who any of them are. I probably know 100.
People just love me. They just friend request me.
No, I feel like
I can have 600 too, but they're all like fake girls with big boobs. Who are
yeah,
like,
that happens.
Yeah.
I probably have some of those too.
Yeah. I get those daily now. I don't know.
It's
what
annoying.
I don't know what list I'm on or
I get
who
them through,
friended me that I
Instagram all the time.
yeah,
Get
and
like
it's
4 a day. I'm always blocking them.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like,
that jerk that
be my
blocks them.
friend, and you're like, you do not live in Plymouth. I would know you if you did. So, when are you coming back?
Whenever you'd like. I love working with you guys. So
I think
much
our
fun.
next open date's November. You want to come back for November? Yeah. You said
I'll have to
whenever
check
I like.
I have to check my schedule.
Oh, see, it's not whenever I like, is it? I see how it is. No,
it's fine.
fair enough.
You know I'll come back.
Yeah,
Stop
I know. So, but that's the crazy thing is right now we have November and December open, and that's it for the year.
That's amazing.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
It's so nice because I don't have to work anymore. I'm just like,
Oh,
who
nice.
wants dates? And people are like, me. So
Yeah.
it really makes her...
That's really nice.
Yeah. So what, like, where can people see your photography? Do you have you said you have Instagram? Like, where are you online?
Yeah, Instagram is just
So-
like...
And you have 600 followers on Facebook. Like, I get
No,
it.
I don't know. Facebook's
Whatever.
stupid. I don't even go on Facebook anymore. The only reason
You
why I
do
went
because
on
you messaged me
Facebook,
through Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I have the Messenger
Yeah.
app, so if I get a message, I'll answer that. But, so I have...
Are you on the Snappity chat?
No.
No.
I'm just Instagram.
Instagram. Twitter?
Facebook. I have a Twitter, but I never use... Like,
Yeah.
what the hell's the point of Twitter?
My job. Shut up.
For me, Twitter doesn't work.
All right. So if people wanted to find you, they could find you on Instagram?
Yep, it's, I think, PYP_LeMay.
That
Yeah.
was kind of unsure. So.
I think. I never... Well, you can just look up my name and you'll find me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they can look up Shauna LeMay and find
Yeah.
you. Okay.
And then on Facebook, PYP Beauty Studio.
Did you get a lot of traffic or bookings or anything from Facebook or...
No, most of it's Yelp, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Most of, like, weddings. Like, salon stuff, I have my clientele and that's it. But for everything else, a lot of it is, like, weddings and stuff will come through Yelp. Or just
Do you
word of
use
mouth.
Yelp a lot yourself or...
No.
No? Just that's where a
Well,
lot of...
sometimes I'll, like, look at scores of people.
Yeah.
Like, how many stars do you have? Is it worth my time to go to your store?
See, I've used it a lot to find really good restaurants when, out
restaurants
traveling.
you have, yeah.
I never think of it for anything else. Like, I would never... If I was getting married and I was a bride, I would never think of... Why is that funny? Shut up. I can be a bride if I want to. Don't judge me. I would never think to look on Yelp to find anything. Like, I would never even think to that.
Yeah, you can find anything on Yelp.
Yeah.
Unless,
Although
I
did search, I'm not gonna lie, today for some reason I was on Yelp because I had nothing to do, and when I was quote unquote working, and I looked up Inebri-Art and we weren't on there.
Oh, you need to make one.
Yeah. So like
Definitely.
the business has to make the Yelp posting first. Did you make
mean
one
that?
for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, so you just go in and like I'm this business.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
people rate
And then
you?
I think you verify it through your email, and then people can find it and then leave comments
Huh. That's good to know.
and like stars. I think it's like up to 5 stars or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not gonna trash us if I do one.
Of course not.
All right, you better not.
Don't be silly.
That's my job, to be silly and stupid. So, I think that about does it. Any parting words of wisdom? So you're going to come back November,
Yeah.
December. It's your choice.
I'll figure
First
it out.
Monday.
Okay.
All right. And thank you for coming down.
Of course. course.
It's always
Thank
a pleasure.
you.
Hey,
So much fun.
You know, you're one of the originals.
The drive is worth it.
Yeah, hour and a half.
It is.
So you guys will be getting home like 1
That's okay.
or something crazy.
Whatever.
But you guys had what'd you have when you were eating here? You had the lettuce wraps.
I had the lettuce wraps,
What'd
and
you
I
think?
got all tofu instead of chicken.
Which is crazy, but whatever.
But it was
Tofu's icky.
so yummy. No, they fry it, so it makes
I know,
it good.
but
They like,
I've had it. I just don't like tofu.
well, their tofu is good.
Their tofu's all right, but
I can't buy the tofu at the store.
Why can't?
It's
What's
just
wrong
gross.
with the chicken?
I don't know.
Are you vegan?
No.
Vegetarian?
Right now, I'm kind of vegetarian.
Kind of, sorta.
Yeah.
Like. All right.
I go through phases.
All right. We won't hold that against you.
I was paleo for a little while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's like
That's
you
like
have
no
to
grains and no dairy.
and you have to like hunt it down and kill it yourself.
Yeah.
That's the way it should
Which
be.
I don't mind doing that.
Killing your own food.
Yeah.
Have you gone hunting?
I haven't gone hunting, but I've slaughtered chickens. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not getting chickens because you'll just kill them.
No, I actually want chickens myself for eggs.
Yeah. Fresh eggs, great.
Yeah.
Until you kill my chickens.
I'm not going to kill your chickens.
Well, I'm a little afraid. So, so it's been a blast. Thanks for coming
Yes,
down. Thanks
thank
for
you
staying
for having
extra
me.
to record.
Oh,
And
no problem.
For our listeners, please like us on Facebook. Please subscribe on iTunes and comment. Tell us how much you liked hearing Shauna. We will have her back. And I think that's pretty much it.
And when they put up a Yelp, they'll make a little note on Facebook and like Twitter or whatever that they're on, and
Yeah.
let people know that they can go see them and vote on their page so they get higher up on the list.
That's right.
When people look for art stuff.
And it's all like trying to, like everything's connected. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like you have to connect your Yelp to your Facebook to your Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, make a Yelp, because then you can recommend other businesses, and I'll recommend you guys.
oh,
Yeah,
all
so
right.
it'll show up on like your profile at the bottom, like businesses that you
And we
that
can recommend
PYP
you.
Beauty Studio recommends.
Okay. What's PYP? Is that
Because the name of my business prior was Pick Your Poison,
okay. All right.
but it was too long of a name.
That is a little yeah.
Yeah.
PYP. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for coming down.
Well, thank you for having me.
No problem.